Hello, I'm Kim Martin, Director of New Zealand Debt Management. On the 20th of December, the Treasury released the 2023 half-year economic and fiscal update, and on the 14th of December, New Zealand Debt Management published our inaugural Green Bond Allocation Report. This presentation updates the outlook for the New Zealand government debt market and also provides an overview of our Green Bond Allocation Report. I'll break the discussion into three sections. First, the borrowing program and the fiscal outlook that underpins it. Next, the New Zealand Government Securities Portfolio. And finally, Mala Greenslade, our head of green bonds, will take us through the highlights of the inaugural Green Bond Allocation Report. The information shown in the following charts is from the half-year update, so published on the 20th of December. This is based on the fiscal forecasts that were finalised by the Treasury on the 24th of November. So following the October elections in New Zealand, the new government formed as a coalition between the National, ACT and New Zealand First parties in late November. Therefore, the forecasts shown here do not include the potential impacts of any new government decisions. Those will be incorporated in the 2024 budget update in May. So at the half-year update, the New Zealand government bond program for the year to June 2024 was increased by 2 billion New Zealand dollars relative to the pre-election update in September. It's now set at 38 billion New Zealand dollars. Over the entire forecast period, our gross issuance program has increased by 7 billion New Zealand dollars. The blue bars are the half-year update. The green bars are the September forecasts. The grey bars are provided to show the historical context. We've already completed 17 billion New Zealand dollars of the program, so that's around 45% in the first half of the fiscal year. And you can see bonds on issue are now expected to reach 210 billion New Zealand dollars by June 2028. The updated fiscal forecasts underpin these borrowing forecasts. In the current year, the government's operating balance is expected to be a $9 billion deficit. The operating balance is expected to then improve as the economy grows and government expenditure growth declines. The balance is expected to reach a small surplus, as you can see, in 2026-27 year. That said, the outlook has deteriorated slightly since the September pre-election update, reflecting weaker tax revenue and higher finance cost forecasts. Net debt as a percentage of GDP is expected to peak at 23% in the 2024-25 year, before declining below 20% by the end of the forecast period, as you can see here. Okay, now turning to the New Zealand Government Securities Portfolio. The current portfolio of New Zealand government bonds is shown here. The bars to the left-hand side of the chart are nominals, and those to the right-hand are the inflation index bonds. The green bar is our sovereign green bond that was first issued in November 2022. We've announced that 3 further nominal bond syndications should be expected in this fiscal year. As we announced at the pre-election update in September, these will be the new 2035 and 2054 maturities. The third syndication will be a tap on an existing shorter dated bond line, a nominal bond line, though the exact maturity has not yet been announced. Here's the history of our recent syndications, showing timings and volumes. Looking forward, the 2054 maturity will replace the 30-year benchmark that we first established in September 2021. The 2035 maturity will be well placed to become the 10-year benchmark next year, once volume in that line has been built up. Inflation index bonds remain an important part of the New Zealand government securities portfolio. They currently make up around 12% of the New Zealand government portfolio. The blue bars show annual inflation indexed bond issuance. The green line, reading off the left-hand axis, shows inflation index bonds as a proportion of the portfolio. Our gross issuance into inflation index bonds is expected to be less than 1 billion New Zealand dollars this fiscal year. And that will be subject to market conditions and indicated demand from the market. Turning to short-term borrowings. Short-term borrowings in our portfolio consist of Treasury bills and ECP, and they're forecast to be an equivalent of 9 billion New Zealand dollars at the end of each fiscal year, and you can see that on the left-hand bar chart. Intra-year, short-term borrowings on issue are expected to vary between 6 billion and 15 billion New Zealand dollars during normal market conditions. Currently, total short-term borrowings are equivalent to 14 billion New Zealand dollars, or 8% of the total New Zealand government securities on issue. And you can see that on the right-hand pie chart. We're seeing good support for our bond tenders in recent times, even as our weekly issuance volume has increased in recent months. The blue bars show the tender cover ratio reading off the left-hand axis. The green dots reading off the right-hand axis represent the range of successful bids. The nominal bond tender cover ratio averaged 3.1 times in the December quarter, and that's above the 5-year average cover ratio of 2.8 times. Relative yield continues to be an element that investors comment on. The chart above shows the yield on New Zealand 10-year bonds in green relative to an aggregate of similar rated peers in blue. New Zealand government bond yields continue to follow the trend in global yields while maintaining a positive spread to similarly rated peers, and you can see that. I'll now turn over to our Head of Green Bonds, Mala Greenslade, who's going to provide an update on our Green Bond programme.
Hello, it's exciting to be able to update you on the New Zealand Sovereign Green Bond Programme. I'm Mala Greenslade, Head of Green Bonds. The programme was initiated to help finance New Zealand's climate and environmental priorities. So the projects financed are supporting reductions in environmental degradation, reductions in carbon emissions, responding to our Zero Carbon Act, and also supporting resilience and adaptation to the effects of climate change. So our inaugural issuance of $3 billion was in November 2022, and throughout the remainder of that financial year, the 22-23 financial year, we issued a further $1.05 billion. We have a framework that has been independently verified by Sustainalytics that guides our work and makes sure that we are in line with international best practice. And our first allocation report, as Kim has already mentioned, was published in December. It's up on the New Zealand Debt Management website, and I encourage you to have a look. So now I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the allocation for our first year, the 22-23 year. So to come into our programme, projects have to meet the criteria for one of our 8 categories. And over here on the left, you'll see the allocation by category for 22-23. The spread is similar to you'll see in other sovereign issuers. So the number 1 category is clean transport. But for us, we have a little bit of a difference because our second category is biodiversity, reflecting the importance of this category for New Zealand. And then over to the right, we're giving you a little bit of a glimpse into the future with a look at what the pool of eligible expenditures is currently looking like. And just note there that we are expecting adaptation expenditures to increase in line with the rest of the world. New Zealand is recognising the importance of funding adaptation to adjust to the impacts of climate change. And now we get to where it really gets important and interesting for us, which is impact reporting. So we are going to be publishing our first impact report later this year, combining it with the allocation report. We're using the ICMA framework for impact reporting. So in line with that, we'll be using climate and environmental impact indicators, as well as case studies and showcasing social co-benefits where social co-benefits are available. We're going to use quantitative methods, metrics where we can, and we'll provide the underlying methodologies and the assumptions. We're also wanting to aggregate measures where possible so that you can see the impact of the whole programme. So whether this is to achieve things like the reduction of waste to landfill or all the way through to emissions reductions. And of course, for biodiversity, we will be looking at achievements such as the amount of land or water protected. So impact reporting is going to provide that crucial layer to our reporting, and we really look forward to presenting it later on this year. So thank you very much for listening, and I will now pass back to Kim.
Hello again. Thanks again for your interest in the New Zealand Government securities market and our Green Bond programme. If you have any questions, please do feel free to get in touch directly via the email address above. Thank you.